Hey everybody, it's Jacob from Piano by Pictures, and today we're going to take a look at the hymn, How Great Thou Art. I think this hymn is really fun and really interesting, and it has several challenges in it which we will overcome by the end of the video. So let's get started. Today we're going to be in the key of C major, and there's no accidentals in this song, so today we just get to play the white keys, and that's all we got to worry about. Alright, for the right hand, we'll start the song with our pointer finger on this G and our thumb on this E. We'll play 3 Gs, and then land on that E, and then 3 Gs again, and then 2 As, and then we'll go F with our thumb, and then play A, then 3 As, and then land on G, and then this nice little walk down. I like to play with my thumb, and then I just kind of collapse my hand in, move the middle finger to G, G, and then F, and then land with your thumb on E. Then the second line is pretty much the same as the first, or it's exactly the same as the first. Nice. So we'll start with 3 Gs, land on that E, then 3 Gs again, then A, F, and then A, 3 As, and then land on G, and then we do that same walk down again, so E, G, G, F, F, and then land on E. Now we're going to do a little arpeggio. An arpeggio, if you don't know what it is, click that card over there, and I will explain to you all the piano lingo. Real quick, it's just, I'm taking this C chord, and then just moving up the notes. Play G, G, C, and then E, then D, C, B, C, A, and then I kind of just rotate over and then land this G with my pointer finger. And that allows my hand to move with my pinky to the next note that we're going to land on, which is C. And we'll play 2 Cs, then B, and then stretch down to this D down here. And then we do this nice little wraparound move where we play F, A, G, and then I land my thumb on E. Then we're going up that arpeggio again. I'll just move my whole hand, put my thumb on this G here, play 2 of them, so G, G, C, E. See how that's the same? And then D, C, B, C, and then A. Same move. Pointer just goes over to this G right here. And then I'm going to move my pointer up to this C, and I'm going to play C, B, C, D. And then I play E, F, B, and then land on C right there. A lot of nice little bow tie moves in this. I like this melody a lot. For the song, we're going to need 4 chords. We're going to need a C chord, an F chord, a G chord, and this nice little D minor chord that we're going to use towards the end. That's got a nice dark texture to it that I really enjoy. The first chord we're going to play is a C chord, and the notes of this are C, E, and G. Notice this nice little skip pattern where you have a gap in between each note. And then we move to F, and the notes of this are F, A, and C, and we have that skip pattern again. Then we have G, B, and D, and look at that skip pattern. There it is again. And for the D minor chord, you guessed it, the notes are D, F, and A, and we retain that nice little skip pattern. Let's go ahead and take a look at the overall structure of how these chords work, because this song is actually kind of tough to count. Normally songs, you'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. You might even go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So the things are being governed by these bars, which are 4 beats long, or depending on the hymn, 3 beats or 6 beats. But you know, we have this set steady count. But in this song, the chords move a little weird. They move a little different. So we have in the beginning, in the first line. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to be putting some chords in my right hand for this, and I'll throw octaves in the left, just to kind of give us something different to try. And it also sounds really great when a singer sings behind it too. You don't always necessarily want to step on the singer with your playing. You can just let a chord hang and they'll sing, and it sounds great. We start on C for 2 beats, so we count 1, 2, and then F for 2 beats. And we can just go ahead and strike that F again for the second bar, you know, just so we can count it easier. And then C for 2 beats, G for 2 beats, and then C for the last bar. So here's how this works rhythm-wise. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. The second line is exactly the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll call that the verse of the song, or like the first half of the song, or the A section. Most hymns are organized in this manner, where there's 4 lines. Each of them have 4 bars, and there's kind of like an A-B format happening, where you have the verse and then you have the refrain. In pop terms, that's almost like the verse and the chorus. For the refrain, or the chorus, or however you want to call it, we go C for 2 beats, 1, 2, and then F, and then right back to C. And then we hang out on G for an entire bar, and then back to C. Then the last line, we get to finally, I know you've been waiting on this D minor. The last line, we finally get to play this D minor, and it happens really quick. So I'm going to give you a nice little tip on how to actually navigate that using some chord inversions. And if you're curious about chord inversions, bam, there's another card over there. You can click that and learn all about chord inversions. So here's that last line. The first 2 bars are the exact same. So we start on C, 2, F, 2, then back to C. And then we play G, 2, 3, and then really fast we go 4 and 1 on that D minor, the G, and the C. And that is really, really fast. So when I show you how to do the chords in the left hand, I'll show you a nice little strategy to accomplish that. So stick around. Let's go ahead and combine the 2 hands. So here's how this all fits together. We have that first line of 3 Gs, and that's a pickup. So that's just going to happen all on its own. So we go G, 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 and then the hands come together here. Then we have our 3 Gs again, and then it lands on this F right here. The rest of the bar happens, and then we land back on C, and then G, and then back to C. The second line is exactly the same, except for that little arpeggio at the end. So I'll play that nice and slow. We'll play 3 Gs, and then land on C, 3 Gs again, and then land on F when we hit this A right there, that A on top. And then we just hold that F, and then we do that C, G, C thing again. Now we just get to hang out on C. We don't have to move our hand at all. So we walk up that arpeggio, and then when we hit the E, we land on the C chord, and then we land on the F chord right here on this little phrase, and then land back on C right here. Play 2 Cs in the pinky, then play this B, do big stretch down to this D note right here, and then land on a G chord. And then we do this little wrap around, and then land back on C. Then we walk up our arpeggio again, we just get to hang out on C, and then for this little phrase on F again, and then back to C. Then we do this move, G, and then we play E, and then for this part, which is really tough, we play D minor, G, C. And so it's darn near impossible to play that to speed. I've been trying to think of clever ways to do this. And so like you can put the D chord in the fingers like this, then put the G chord in the fingers like this, and then land on C. And I just think that this is really tough. So the easiest way that I found to do this, well, I'll give you 2 ways because I found 2 that work really well. The first is to do a chord inversion. And so we'll play D minor normal, and then we need to get to the G chord. But look at this, we have to move our hand either up, 1, 2, 3, 4 notes, or down 5 notes. And then if we go up, it's gonna kind of get in the way of the hand. So what I've been doing is just inverting the G chord. So let's look at a G chord in more detail. The notes are G, B, and D. We can play those 3 notes in any order. It doesn't matter. Like if I play this, it sounds like a G chord. If I move the G up, it sounds like a G chord. If I move the B up, it still sounds like a G chord. So the order of the notes is not as important as just playing the right notes. So what we can do here is play this D minor chord, and then leave our pinky on this D, and then our pointer can move to G here, and then our thumb can move to B right there. And do you see how we have a nice smooth movement between those two chords? And then we just land back on C normally. What I like to do personally is to just play the C on top, because I kind of like this la-ti-do thing going on in the voice leading. Makes it sound maybe a little more like a choir. So that's one solution. The other, and this is something I notice a lot when I'm practicing classical music, a lot of good composers will do something where they don't waste notes in the chord. So the D minor has the notes D, F, and A, but I'm playing an F in this hand. So listen to the difference. If I play this, or if I play this, not a huge difference in sound. Also, take a look at this. When I play the G chord, I've got this B right here already in the melody. So if I get rid of the B in my bottom chord, it actually opens up the sound quite a bit and makes it sound really nice. So what I've kind of been experimenting with is playing that final phrase like this, where I play. You see that? And playing the little fifths in the left hand actually lets me, if I do it like this, I don't really have to move my hand at all. So that's a solution. All right, so now let's play the song to tempo so you can hear the hands together and also hear how all of the rhythms work. Alright, thank you so much for sticking around till the end of the video. If you found this tutorial helpful, feel free to like and subscribe. Click the link in the description and check out our free book offer and our online courses. But above all else, enjoy playing.